What's up? Good morning. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast, and the live stream today is brought to you by Blue Frost IT. Online at bluefrostit.com. My goodness. The managed IT service provider for this show. And, you know, if you're there building your business and you're like, okay, we got our employees, we got what the hell, we're selling whatever, we're providing whatever goods and services. Okay, that's all fantastic. You're doing it. It's the American dream. But, if your tech blows up and your computer's like, oh, God, and then all of a sudden you've got a virus, or the software is just a mess, or you're getting all these warnings, all these notifications that your thing's screwed up, what do? That slowly starts to affect the performance of the machinery, and then you're like, okay, now this is just a shit show. If you had Blue Frost IT in the fold already, all it would take is, I don't know, an email, a text message. They remote in, they do their thing, and then boom, you're done. And it's a hell of a lot less expensive than you might think. You can afford an IT department with Blue Frost IT. If you're starting your business or moving to a new location and you're going to start with a fresh IT setup, call them as well. 616-200-8550. For Blue Frost IT. Okay. Van Dyke Mortgage, whether it be your first mortgage or your 10th mortgage, you know, this is who you want to call. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Anywhere in the USA. It isn't just a West Michigan thing where this show is based. It's anywhere. And look, I'd be silly to say, oh, yeah, just hire Mario sight unseen. No. All I'm asking is that you reach out to Mario. And so, I'm calling because Zane told me to call, and I need a mortgage. I've got a couple other people that I'm thinking about doing business with, but I'm calling you to see what you can offer me. And then, basically it's letting him do his thing. He'll win you over. Okay. He'll make sure that you are extremely comfortable with this scenario. And I love the stories that I get, the feedback from people who say, man, you were right. Mario is absolutely the best. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Do consider him if you are thinking about listing your home, if you're thinking about getting a mortgage to get a home. I'm getting sponsors mixed up. Call Mario today, 231-332-6505. Okay, here we go. It is Monday, October 26, 2020. The Eric Zane Show podcast begins.
Would you shut up, man? Listen.
Now. Hey, Blue State Rob.
Hey, this is Blue State Rob, and you're listening to the Eric Zane Show podcast, a show hosted by a liberal Republican whose ancestry dates back to the small country of Armenia and fueled by bouts of anxiety and adult attention hyperactivity disorder, also known as ADHD. It's not the best, but still better than radio. Anyway, here's your host, Eric Zane.
Oh, thank you very much. It's the world-famous Blue State Rob there. What up, buddy? The show comes to you live at about this time. It turns out I'm actually on time today. So I want to say at 8, but I'd probably have to rattle off about a 30-game winning streak before I can say that the show officially starts at 8, But there is a live element to it where you can interact with other listeners of the show. Facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page. Not to mention, Facebook is brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. I'm on Twitter with a Periscope video. That is at Eric Zane Show on Twitter, and that's brought to you by Blue Frost IT. And then, of course, the almighty YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Watch it there as well. That brought to you by F45training.com/Byron Center. That is a community in West Michigan here where F45 is okay. All right. all of that out of the way, I'm also on Instagram, Eric Zane Show on Instagram, where I do Instagram instant trivia every Wednesday night, where you can win a crisp, clean, new $10 bill. Okay? That reminds me, Josh won last week, and I never did pay his ass. I always lose track of this shit. Patriot Nick won on Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia last week, and he donated the money to a diabetes research organization, and I haven't yet done that because I'm a dumbass. But it's there. You hear it. It's in my brain. I'm almost saying it to provide. Okay, I haven't forgot you. So thanks to Nick for that. It was very, very kind. Josh is like, screw that. I need the $10. I don't blame you. Take that money. Take that money. Okay, and I was going to go somewhere. Instagram is brought to you by Mario Flores, Lakeshore Team of Van Dyke Mortgage. My God, everything is sponsored on this show. Holy shit. But that's the way we make this whole thing work, you know? Well, you know, I sure hope you had a great weekend. I hope everything went well. I hope you're doing okay. We're inching our way along. I'm not going to lie. This pandemic is starting to eat away at my soul for obvious reasons, obviously with the passing of Mom. But I mean, it's just like, God, it's just a little bit weird. It's a little bit jarring to me. It's kind of like keeps smacking me in the face. We've got murder hornets on the run. I cannot. Do you remember those things? Those crazy looking beasts that look like they're drawn, like they're actually fake. Those gigantic creatures called murder hornets that they actually have eyebrows that slant down and look like they're angry. And they can repeatedly sting you. And I can just imagine that much size. I mean, this is like 2-inch, 3-inch long creature. My God, what the fuck is that? No one had heard of these things until this year. And of course, this is the year that it happens, 2020. Well, score one for the good guys. We've got the murder hornets on the run. Thanks to Stu McAllister for talking about this story on one of his most recent podcasts. That got me thinking I need to talk about this. We've got the murder hornets on the run. We'll be talking about that. Do you remember the film Rudy back in the 90s? Supposedly based on a true story about some little dude who really wants to play college football at Notre Dame, played by Sean Astin. And he ends up somehow managing through grit and toughness, according to the film, become a walk-on football player at Notre Dame, and all of his hard work paid off because he got on the field for one football play. One! And then he supposedly sacked the quarterback. By the way, Joe Montana, who was on the Dan Patrick Show at one point after the film came out, said, yeah, it wasn't at all like that. It wasn't at all like that. All right. Well, screw the film, because we've got a real-life story that happened just this weekend. I'll talk about that. We are inching our way closer to the great kidney giveaway. That details coming up. Don't look now, but my Detroit Lions have won 3 out of 4 games. Shut up. Let's not get out of control here. For you people that are listening that are Lions fans, I know it's a little weird to actually have them winning. And for people who aren't Lions fans, you know what we've been through. This is the most frustrating team to watch. They have put us through the ringer with the horrible ways that they have found out how to lose. And this is textbook Lions, where they somehow, we are so hard up for any type of success that even when they have reasonable amount of success. It seems like they are juggernauts, and we are like on cloud nine, and we can't believe it. It's if you follow the team, this is what you do. You commit to that horrible sequence, and I think that they just love fucking with us. Frankly, it's just that awful. Talk about that. Also, the term activist should be replaced with terrorist in some cases. It seems like more often than not, I hear about this. Somebody says, yeah, I'm an activist. And then you dig a little deeper to them and say, you're more like a terrorist. This guy in Wisconsin, who is facing some serious legal threats against him, should definitely be called a terrorist. I'll talk about that. And Julie Jerkoff has graduated from college. Congratulations to Julie Jerkoff. I'd like to tell you that there's more to that story than meets the eye, but there really isn't. I have audio, and we'll finish up the show with that. But first, Saturday, I was hard at work doing my thing. All right, hey, it's time to go and get in shape. I've been working hard at that, trying to improve my health. Getting closer and closer to the kidney thing, which, like I said, I'll detail that in a bit. But this has been kind of like, on the forefront of my brain. I want to be in excellent shape as best I can when it comes time to giving away this kidney. So Saturday's the day, and I'm out running. And I head over to the track where I'll often do my thing at this high school. And hop the fence, and the band's on the field. The band's on the field. Stanford, remember that? Against Cal, holy shit. John Elway thought he had the game won. Guy returns the ball back, and the fucking whole band is already on the field after the kickoff. What the fuck are they doing? A guy weaves his way around big bass drum guy, stiff arms the clarinet player, and then hits the fuckface tuba guy. He goes flying. Oh, it was incredible. Oh, the band's on the field. So the band is on the field, and I'm like, oh, they're having one of their I don't know if they had something they wanted to showcase the parents. I think that was the case because they were streaming in, and there I am on the track, and as I'm doing my little laps, I'm doing that. I'm weaving my way around clarinet and tuba and big bass drum, not a drum. What the hell is wrong with me? And then I see the guy who runs the band. He motions me over. I'm like, hey, and I pull my my little earbuds out. I'm listening to the new AC/DC Shot in the Dark. Incredible. Yes, it's just like all the other AC/DCs. And he says, how long are you going to be? I go, as long as you want me to be. He goes, well, we're starting at 2:00. I go, oh, I'll be done. No problem. Do one more lap, and now the band is more than on the field. They're on the track. The band is completely on the track, and I'm like, fuck it. I'm gone. No big deal. I'll just do it out in the parking lot. This is not a huge deal. Make my way out. Moms and dads walking by me with blankets and masks, and out I go. Now, so around this parking lot, I want to do one big lap, and then, kind of like do it a little harder, and then maybe a little recovery in between, do it again. So I'm doing the first lap, and then as I, all of a sudden I smell pot, and I'm like, okay, well, that's unmistakable. And right away I look around. It's so easy to catch somebody smoking pot. I mean, here you have this van in the school parking lot, and it's parked all like away from everybody. And it's not even in a parking spot. It's like across two parking spots at an angle. And it looks very suspicious. I mean, I'm 150 feet away from this van, and I can smell pot. And I go, and I look right there, and I go, well, it's got to be this guy, right? And so I run by them, and I understand that some people who smoke pot, you would never know that they smoke pot. I'm sure some of you who are enjoying this podcast smoke pot, but you don't, quote unquote, look like you smoke pot. Some people look like potheads. They look like shit. All right, their hair's all fucked up. They look like someone who smokes pot all the GD time, and they don't give a shit about anything other than smoking pot. They don't care how they look. They don't care how they smell. They don't care. They don't care anything. All they want to do is get high. That's who's in the car. These two. You can be smoking pot all the damn time, and no one would know it if you cover your tracks. You know, you dress appropriately. You take a fucking bath. You brush your teeth. Maybe get out and exercise a little. But these two fat fucks are sitting there in their van. A chick is in the driver's side, is on the driver's side, and dude who is in the passenger side. And I run by and I make eye contact with them, and they're just staring at me. And I know they're smoking pot, so I run by, and I do my lap. It takes about 3.5, 4 minutes to do my thing, and then I'm coming back around, and as I'm getting close to the van, I smell it again, and I don't know what came over me, because this is not my business, but I think I did them a really big favor, because it's so obvious what's going on. You know, in Michigan, you can smoke pot anywhere. I should say in your home. It's legal in Michigan to do this, but just like you can't walk down the street and drink a beer, you can't be smoking it out in the public, and you sure as shit can't be on fucking school grounds smoking pot. This is a bad decision on their part, because if anyone sees them, they're going to make one phone call. Shit, like I said, it took me 1 second of my investigation to realize it's them. So if anybody else were to, they might call the cops on them, and then that's a problem. You got to be a real fuck up in a state where it's 100% legal to buy and smoke pot to actually get in trouble for smoking pot. You got to be a real dipshit. So here we set it up in Michigan where you can buy it, you can grow it, you can smoke it, you can carry 10 ounces of it, you can give it away. Holy fuck. It's beautiful. It's perfect for you fucking potheads. Yet these two GD Neanderthals have found a way to fuck this up. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to do these two a favor. Go walking up to the car. I knock on the window. I go, roll it down. Dude rolls it down. I go, now he doesn't know who I am. No one knows who I am. As far as they know, I'm the fucking principal or whatever. And I've got no attitude at this point, like I do right now. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna talk to this guy. And he rolls the window down. He's like, hey, how are you? And legit, he was like in a great mood. He was really, really stoned. I go, sorry, cannot smoke on school property. I don't work there. This is not my business. I'm doing this guy a favor, though. That's exactly what I'm doing. I go, yeah, you know, they get mad here at the school if you smoke pot on property. You're going to have to do it somewhere else. And she goes, okay, sorry. Yeah. I go, yeah, no problem. No problem at all. This guy, then he goes, hey, I wanted to ask you. And I'm like, oh, fuck. He actually says, hey, man, I wanted to ask you. And he opens the car door. I go, here we go. And it smells so bad, man. What a horrible stink that is. And he gets out of the car and he goes, hey, yeah, how you're running. How far is that? Now, you got to understand, this guy he's so out of shape. Well, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. He goes, how far is that around? I go, well, one lap is, I don't know the distance, but I'm assuming it's about a half mile what I'm doing. And based on just the time and how fast I'm getting around this area. He goes, oh, man, it's good to know, because as soon as I get my back and my hips fixed, I'm going to get back in shape. And I go, yes. I go, well, yeah, this is what you do, man. I mean, you smoke pot here. You might as well run here. And I'm thinking to myself, who the fuck does this guy, oh, God. And he was, about 5 foot, about my height, 5'8", and he was round. He's shaped like an apple. And I'm like, yeah, I seriously doubt there's going to be any big getting in shape moments from you. And so I go, okay, yeah, well, good luck with that. That's going to be great. You're going to do great. Okay, man, thanks. And he gets back in the car. I don't know why he had to get out of the car to actually have this conversation with me. I'm like, oh, fuck. So these two fat asses are there. They wait about another 2 minutes. I don't know what the hell was going on. And then they finally just drove off. Is that too much? I honestly, I don't even know why I did it. It just kind of like struck me because I made eye contact with him. I probably should have just minded my own business, but at the same time, I wasn't a dick about it. And they probably shouldn't have been there. And hell, I'm telling you, if somebody would have called on them and they were so easily spotted, in 1 second, I was able to figure out what was going on. I probably did them a favor. Over the weekend, also, there was limo work to be had, and a lot of it. My God, I was blessed. I got the big phone call that I had a Saturday job and a Sunday job. And, okay, you would think that the Saturday bachelorette party with a bunch of really drunk 20-somethings listening to WAP by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion would result in a litany of stories for you in this podcast, but not exactly. This was wasn't without. It was pretty much without incident, and but it was still fun. I picked these ladies up at this hotel, and the plan is pick them up at the hotel, drive them to a restaurant 30 miles away, and then they wanted. Oh my God, it was all sorts of girl stuff going on because it was like, first of all, I get there and they're like, okay, yeah, you have to be there at 4:15. We're going to be in the car at 4:30. I go, no problem. I roll up at 4:15. I call lady who's in charge. I go, yeah, ma'am. Okay, I'm ready to go. I am right out in front. Okay, we're planning. It's a big surprise. Bachelorette is going to be, they're going to say, oh, here you go. It's our chariot. Oh, my God. And she had no idea. And she was super surprised. It worked out fantastic. But, okay, here's where they're like, we're running late. We're not ready. I go, that's no problem. No problem. And every 15 minutes, I'd get a new update. Yeah, we're still doing this. We're still doing that. I'm like, no problem. What was supposed to be a 4:30 pickup turns into 5:45. I'm sitting there watching football. And I'm like, no big deal. No big deal. Yeah, we might actually keep you for another hour. Is that okay? I go, no problem. We'll take care of it. Easy. Finally get in the car. Bachelorette's amazed. She's so happy. My God. Let's get in the car and ride. They very quickly figure out the Bluetooth. That's always my biggest concern, is because there have been times when people are like, hey, how does this work? And I'm like, I'm up here. The only way I can help you is if I pull over and help you through it. But most people figure this out. It's real simple. You just go to your Bluetooth. It sees that it's talking to the radio. You click it and boom, that's it, right? So they figure that out. It isn't long before we're listening to Cardi B. And sure enough, that happened, man. First of all, it was, again, another scenario where there's a lot of terrible lyrics, the N-word being dropped, and also, I mean, it's just ridiculous what people listen to these days. And it's like, yeah, this is cool. And that mother of all moments is with that song, WAP. And so they start playing it, and one of the young women, she goes, sorry. And I go, no, I hear this song every time I have a group like yours. This does not bother me, and I am so desensitized to this now. And she goes, oh, hey, girls, don't worry. He's down. I'm like, oh, shit. Holy crap. They get the mother, the future mother-in-law, the Bachelorette, does FaceTime. So they turn down the music. She paid for the whole damn thing. And so in my rearview mirror, I see them holding up the phone. And then I hear this from the mom who's on the FaceTime. Is your driver cute? And I'm like, oh, God. And they go, whoa, yeah. Can you imagine if they said, no, he looks like a GD goblin? And they actually hold the phone up to me. And I'm like, yeah, hi. Oh, God, please don't ask me to pull my mask down. Oh, my God. It'll crack your phone. So off we go. Go to this restaurant. Drop them off. More drinking inside of the restaurant. Get out of the restaurant. Girl who's in charge of the group says, we might be a little bit more obnoxious. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. They get in and they're dancing in the limo, actually doing some type of dance that you would see if they were strippers. And I'm just kind of like trying not to look in the rearview mirror. I see flashes going off in the back of the limo. They're taking all these pictures, TikTok videos, a whole 9 yards. Unbelievable. We drive. They go, before we go to the casino, we got to go back to the hotel. And I go, yeah, okay, cool. They go, yeah, we want to change clothes. I'm like, what? Are you serious? So that's a chick thing, right? You know, I mean, they all look awesome. They look terrific. What's going on here? This is such a girl thing to do. They're spending. They hire me for 9 hours, and 8 of the hours is me waiting in front while they get changed or ready. We drive all the way back to the hotel. They go in. They come out. They're all glittery and shimmery. They've changed their outfits. Back into the limo. Off to the casino, where I promptly fall asleep. I'm sitting there in the roundabout of the casino, and it's like late, way past Eric's bedtime. And thank God I crashed, because that keeps me alert. You know, if I'm refreshed to some degree, I got a little second wind, zero chance of any issues of fatigue while driving. Sure enough, they call, hey, come pick us up. I go, no problem, ma'am. Put it in drive, around, pick up, off we go. Good, done, easy. In bed, 1:30. Yes, sleep in till 9:30. Sunday morning, mass, boom, back at church, socially distant. This was awkward. I kind of have a renewed vigor, if you will, on the pandemic since mom. And I'm like, I don't want to get sick. I don't want to get anybody else sick. I don't want to screw up this kidney thing. So mass is one thing. Got my mask on in mass. And they got it down there. I mean, they have people way spread apart. There's no contact whatsoever. You just walk in, do your thing, you leave, boom. Friend of mine comes walking up to me, and I'm seated in the pew, and she wants to offer condolences. And, well, the question was asked, can I give you a hug? So it's Diana on the end, lady next to her standing in the aisle looking at me, and she wants to offer condolences. Can I give you a hug? I was like, what am I going to do? So I looked at her in the face. I said, no. And damn it. It just sucks. But I said, I did that. I go, no, I can't. I'm just, no. I'm not giving you a hug. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching anybody. So it was just a little weird, a little awkward. I think no more touching. I'll only touch Diane. I'm not even going to touch the dogs, for God's sake. At least that's how I feel right now. I'm just kidding. So I'm like, no, I'm trying to give away this kidney, so can't do it. Just a little awkward. So yesterday, I have limo work too. Now, you would think with a small little trip that nothing could go wrong. There's just not enough time for something to go wrong. And I'm not even going to say that this is anything that went wrong. It was just like, I've never really had anything get sideways at any bit of limo work. Never. Everything has always worked out in a terrific fashion since I started this gig. I've had nothing but excellent experiences. And so I go to pick these people up. They're north of town. And the plan is to get 3 adults, 4 kids in the car, drive them to this Halloween extravaganza that's going on where I live and somewhere around here. Someone's going to meet them there. I have no obligation after 1 hour. I drop them off. First, I just drive around. Kids have fun in the limo, and then drop them off, and off we go. And it's fine. It's no issue whatsoever. This is an easy job. Okay, but I get to the residence, And God, I wish I hadn't done this. There's a lady there who ended up not going with us who has a dog. It's a really nice looking German Shepherd. And the Shepherd's a little exuberant and wants to see your old pal Eric Zane. And I go, it's okay. And they go, she's got to jump on you. I go, I have 4 dogs. I can handle this. I want to pet your dog. I actually want to. She brings the dog over. And I put my thumb into the dog's collar so the dog won't jump on me, and I'm petting the dog. Lady is there. Tell me about the dog, and the most awkward thing happens in the world. She takes a step back, and she steps on the dog's paw, and the dog yelps like crazy, and then her ankle turns like Dak Prescott's, and she goes down. She falls right in front of me. I'm like, oh no, fuck. Live and learn. Don't ever ask to pet a dog. This is my fault. I am an idiot. And then I was so shocked. I didn't even go to help her up. I'm like, oh God. And it was just embarrassing. And then she took off after that. I'm like, oh, here we go. This is going to be terrible. So I'm standing there, and then customer comes out. Great. And I put my mask on, and right away, she says, we're not going to do that. And I go, okay, no problem. She goes, yeah, I can't stop you from doing that, but that's not how we're going to live. I go, yep, no problem. All good. And then she follows up more, and I'm like, look, I don't want to have a discussion with you. I mean, you don't need to say anything. Okay. Well, if you said one thing, that's fine. And then I get a lecture about, I believe the pandemic's real, but, I'm just not going to live that way. And I'm like, no problem. I totally understand. Now, what I want to respond differently. You know what I want to do. But I'm like, okay. I refuse to get into it with her. I'm not going to say a damn thing. And she says, I know it's real and I know it kills people, but I don't want to do that. And I'm thinking now in my head, I'm like, okay, now granted, this mask doesn't do a lot. It does very little. But I mean, wouldn't you want to give yourself the best chance of survival? I mean, if you have to walk across a busy street, do you do it with your eyes open or your eyes closed? Well, you do it with your eyes open. Why? That's your best chance of surviving that walk across the street. Now, I mean, why would you? I don't know. The group gets in there, and then I noticed that as one person got in there, it just seemed I was catching a vibe, like, hey, what's going on with this? Just seemed a little. I thought to myself, if there's going to be anything weird, it might be from one particular person, not the first person I talked to. And so I was right, because a short time later, after we all get in, hey, how do we get out of the Bluetooth? And I go, now, what I want to say is, I have no idea. Use your phone and figure it out. I mean, root around a little bit. This is what people do all the time. They're like, oh my God, how do I get to this website? I don't know. Fucking try. Do your thing. You're a big person. Find it out on your own. And that's what I want to say, but that's not what I'm going to say. I'm like, it should be there. It should call to your phone, and then you just click on. Well, I don't have a password, and I'm getting that type of attitude. What? And it's by the one I was just telling you about. I'm like, oh fuck, here we go. I don't have the password. I mean, how does it? I go, well, I think you just see it, and then you click it, and then it talks to it and pairs it. And yeah, but which one is it? I'm like, look, lady, I don't know. If you've got a bunch of different Bluetooth entries on your phone, I don't know what's on your phone, and I don't know the one. I don't know the name off the top of my head of the one in our limo. I mean, I would say if it was me, I would look at the radio and say, okay, what brand is it? Maybe that will, and it'll indicate on the phone. I don't know. Do some type of fucking detective work and figure this shit out. But first of all, stop talking to me like I'm a piece of shit. That's the first thing that needs to happen. So I'm like, and then I hear, don't talk to him that way. And I'm like, okay, someone else has got my back. And then someone else says, we'll figure it out. No big deal. I'm like, oh shit. This is hideous. So I have no idea. Then we get, hey, can you pull over? We want to stop and get something. Okay, no problem. Pull over. And I get out and I go, hey, and give me your phone. I'll see if I can figure that out for you. Oh, no, we got it. We actually figured it out. We just don't have cell service. I'm like, oh, God. So all of that. Ended up being okay, though. No problem. Hopefully everybody's happy. We got to where we had to go. I had to take the pictures. Thank you. Line up. Thank you. Have a nice day. And off we go. It ended up working out, but I was a little concerned that I was going to have my first really, really bad time, but I somehow managed to navigate it, and here we sit. Live to fight another day. Kick that can down the road. Okay. Hey, I want you to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. All right. Wherever you listen to podcasts, audio podcasts, if you could, subscribe to it. Rate it, throw me 5 stars, give me a review, whatever it may be. I don't know how Carl does it over at WATP. He says throw 5 stars at us and then shit all over us in the comments. No, do not do that. My fragile little ego cannot handle that. Please subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Sponsor time, Stella Fly. What is that? I see it everywhere, Zane. Stella Fly helps you market your business through social media expertise and marketing 101. Amazing talent is Laura over at Stella Fly. She wants your business to reach out to her at stellafly.com so she can be in charge of your social media for your business. You're busy trying to build the business and serve your customer base. She helps you grow your customer base with social media plans and campaigns through all the various means that she has at her disposal. So if you're on, Instagram or Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and she's an expert on all those things to help you get the word out about your business. Find out more at stellafly.com. We were talking smoking pot earlier. Or cannabis. They don't like me saying pot. Pardon me. Horizon Hydroponics. HORIZEN hydroponics.com. Okay. If you can buy your products that you want to get to help your cannabis grow indoors at horizonhydroponics.com. Orders over $250 and more anywhere in the United States is where they're delivered are free shipping. So if you spend over $250, you're good to go on the shipping. And use Zane Show at checkout. You will save 10% from Horizon Hydroponics. 4 brick-and-mortar stores in Grand Rapids on Alpine. The Growers Outlet in Byron Center, Lansing, and Kalamazoo. Okay, hang on. I got leftover waters from when Stu and Ben were in here. If you missed that, Ben, Stu McAllister, and me are on Patreon, patreon.com/Eric Zane. We did that podcast on Friday. Some of you saw the preview, saw or listened to the preview. I posted the first 10 or 15 minutes. Wherever you download podcasts, and you were able to see it on various social media, Facebook, Twitter. It's a good time with those boys. Thank you to Stu for doing that. Thank you to Ben for doing that. No way closer, no bit closer to getting an actual name for the show. And I'm like, Eric and Ben and Eric. I can't even figure out which name to put first on the show. All right. A number of you, fantastic, are enjoying the show. I see Kenny has me on Facebook and on YouTube. Thank you, buddy. Dirk is in the house. What's up to Dirk? Patriot Nick, how are you? Stevie checks in. Hi, O'Neill. She says Stu was funny. Yeah, I know. He's probably the only one. All right. Ben and I were busy being shitty. Stu was the funny one. He always is. Okay. If you watched the Lions or listen to the Lions, first of all, if you listen to the Lions, I'm sorry, because that means you heard Lomas Brown. A part of me wants to do kind of like a Who Are These podcasts, Lomas Brown, only about Lomas Brown, but I'm afraid it'll be just too much. Lomas Brown, first of all, he can't stop saying Dan Miller's name, Dan. Every time he talks about a play in the game, he adds Dan to it. It's like, we know you're talking to Dan. You don't need to say Dan's name before and after every damn sentence, Lomas. And stop saying again, like, because you're making the same old points over and over again. Again, they got to get the first down, Dan. He actually said, Lomas Brown, on the radio broadcast, which I heard. I listened to like 10 minutes of the radio broadcast going from Meyer to home. And what he wanted to say was the Lions have their hands full today. Now, how can you fuck that up? Well, if you're Lomas Brown, it's quite simple. Again, all he wanted to say was, again, Dan, was the Lions have their hands full today. He said the Lions have their hands filled today. I can't believe that guy has a job. He must be the nicest person on the planet. He cannot, I mean, it's seriously terrible. The murdering of the English language by Lomas Brown is off the rails. You could make a drinking game of times that he murders words and times he says Dan and again. You could probably do the same thing for me on this show. The Lions, though, they win again. Dan, by 1 point over Atlanta. Now, all right, they're 3-3. The Lions have won 3 out of 4. They started out 0-2. They've won 3 and 4 since then. 3 out of 4 since then. I don't want you Lions fans to start thinking that this is anything substantial. It's not. It really isn't. They still suck. You need to keep that in sight. They have beaten the last 2 games, 2 of the worst teams, the real worst teams in the league. The Lions are one of the worst teams in the league. Definitely not the worst team. One of the worst teams in the league, but they're like at the top of the list for worst teams. Okay, there's 3 tiers: middle, high, and low, and they're probably the best of the worst teams. Could they put it together and get better? Well, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But right now, I still say they suck shit. Yeah, they're 3-3. But again, they've played terrible teams. God, I sound like Lomas Brown. I just told you how many times Lomas says again, and then I keep saying again. What the fuck is wrong with me? That's terribly embarrassing. So in this game, late in the game, Atlanta is driving. And with like a minute 10 to go, they're about to go in for a touchdown. They're at like the 10-yard line of the Lions. And this is brilliant. The defense for the Lions lets them score a touchdown. Because if they let them score a touchdown and have an extra point, there's enough time on the clock for Matthew Stafford to get these guys down the field and score. But still trailing, Atlanta has an opportunity to just kind of run the clock down to 0 and then the very last play, kick a field goal and win the game. So they hand the ball off to this guy named Todd Gurley. And he runs up the middle, and they were probably thinking maybe it's going to be a 1 or 2 yard gain. No big deal. Run the clock down, kick the field goal. But the defense parts like the Red Sea and lets him run through. As he's running towards the end zone, he realizes that he's going to score and there's going to be a lot of time on the clock. So just as he gets to the goal line, he throws himself on the ground, realizing, fuck, I got to stop this. I got to end this play and not score a touchdown. But he fucked it up, and he did score a touchdown, and he was so pissed off. This was crazy because you got the defense for the Lions going, touchdown! Yay! And the team that scored the touchdown was like, fuck, we scored a touchdown. I mean, you would never see this. This is so unbelievable. So the Falcons are like, oh, you dumb motherfucker. How the fuck did you manage to do that? You know, and Gurley said after the game, he goes, I've had to do this before. I knew what to do. I just couldn't stop myself, and it was too late. Oh, my God. Now that, the way Gurley did that, is something the Lions would do. But Atlanta, maybe because they're just worse or because they're playing the Lions and some of that shitty same old Lions mystique rubbed off on them. Atlanta sucks too. They started out the year like 0-5, and then they fired their coach. They're awful. So dude scores the touchdown, and that's all the time that they needed. Matthew Stafford, he's really, really good at last minute heroics. This is like the 30th time he's done this in his career. He's really, really good at it. And sure enough, Stafford, after an incompletion to start the drive, he gets hot, and he starts, boom, 20. All of a sudden, time winding down. Matt Stafford, pocket collapses around him. Lions have 5 receivers trying to get open. What do you call it? Atlanta has 7 defenders in the end zone. Okay. So they have numbers. How the fuck is he going to do this? Stafford does this pump fake, and then he pump fakes again as the pocket's falling all around him, and he's moving his legs and getting into open space. And he sees TJ Hawkinson, and he whips it sidearm. Sure enough, that fucker catches it and scores a touchdown. Son of a bitch, we're tied. No time on the clock. The Falcons are like fucking all pissed off at Gurley because he's a dumb dick. This is your fault, you dumb motherfucker. You shouldn't have done this. Holy shit, you asshole. And now the game is tied with no time on the clock. All they got to do is kick an extra point. Oh, no. Problem. Danny Amendola, who's been playing football since, 1975, should know better. The idiot rips his helmet off in celebration. He's one of those receivers that was out there. He didn't have anything to do with the play, really. Everybody's celebrating, and Amendola takes his fucking helmet off. That's a problem. Because they throw a flag that's unsportsmanlike conduct. That's a 15-yard penalty assessed on the extra point. So you're like, oh, my God. So what is a chip shot? A 33-yard, they kick the extra point. It's a 33-yard kick. It used to be even closer, but they've made it longer to make it a little more challenging because it was ridiculous to be kicking it from 1 foot away. Now the extra point is a 48-yard kick. Now the Lions kicker, Matt Prater, he can kick a field goal from like 300 yards away. The guy's great. He can kick it through a wall. This is a little bit more challenging, but thank God that dude made it. He actually did get the extra point. Lions win in a game that it was remarkable. That's usually something that would happen to the Lions, but the Falcons suck so much shit that it happened to them. They stink. And but the whole deal about Amendola, I was like, oh no. Oh my God. Now it's going to be a tie game because Prater's going to get the yips. He's going to miss this extra point. That would be a new way for the Lions to fuck up a game because some dick took his helmet off. I can't believe Danny Amendola took his helmet off. How can you possibly do that? If he was a rookie, I'd understand it. The point is moot, though, because they ended up kicking the extra point. But, man. So, here we sit. That the shitty Lions are 3-3. Somehow, I cannot believe they are 3-3. And, if you think about it, you often go back and do the woulda, coulda, shoulda. Because if you recall, that game that took place against the Bears, the opener, when they had that massive lead and then they just barfed it up, they could very well be 4-2 right now had that not happened. The Packers pretty much kicked their ass, and they had a 14-point lead over the New Orleans Saints, and then the Saints came roaring back, but the Lions still made a game out of that one. But all right, whatever. I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. 3-3 by these assholes is pretty damn good. I would say we are at the high point of the season. It's all downhill from here as these dicks now host the Colts on Sunday. Now, the Colts kind of suck, but they have Phillip Rivers, who's a Hall of Famer, and you never know when this guy is going to catch fire. And then they're at the Vikings, who also suck. And then they host Washington, who sucks. Unless I'm getting this wrong. And I think, wait a minute, I'm looking at the next 5 games are all teams that could be categorized as just as shitty as the Lions. Colts, at Vikings, Washington, at Panthers, Texans. Fuck, man. My head's going to explode if they win all those games and they go to the game at the Bears on December 13th. Not December 13th. The game against the Bears on December 6th with an 8-3 record. I'm so getting ahead of myself. That's what you do if you're a Lions fan like me. You try to act all cool, but in the end, you're just stoked as hell that they won the damn football game. One pride, hashtag same old Lions. Okay. Today is the day. This is an update on the great kidney giveaway. We've been inching closer and closer to this big moment of truth. And you've been with us every step of the way. This week, I think today, I'm going to make a phone call today because I got a call late on Friday from my kidney transplant coordinator at UCLA Medical Center saying, we are go. Everything is go. There are no more tests to collect. The fecal card is in. We have your stool sample. You look good. You have beautiful looking stool. You have the best stool. I sound like Trump. You have the greatest stool. The best stool. It's a beautiful stool. My potential recipients flying colors on a stress test. There is only one thing to do, and that now is schedule the transplant. As I say that, my brain fights me on that. And it's weird because I go through spells where I'm like, well, this is definitely going to happen. I cannot wait to get this done. And I can't. And when I say my brain fights me on that, it's just normal human responses to things like this. And my brain tries to trick me with, okay, yeah, but what if? It's like, and I'm like, just stop. This is all exactly as we had planned, and it is. And I'm so ready for this to happen. So we decided the sooner the better. Today I'll make that phone call and we'll schedule it for probably sometime in the first week of December. And so what I said to my guy is, yeah, dude, the quicker we get this done, the better. I said, I'm just worried about you. I just don't want you to have to endure this dialysis monster anymore. So I'm looking at December because that's when they said that the earliest that it can be done. So, I mean, I'm like pretty much just pick a day. I mean, is there a day that works better for them? I'm not sure. But when I get there, I want to be able to settle in for a day or two. And then off we go. It's about a 4-hour surgery. And just if you're the praying type, if you could add Eric and the family and Dude and his family to the prayer list. I would love that. And if you don't pray, just be thinking of it, because though you don't pray, you're praying. You just don't know it. Okay? You'll figure that out when you get old, when you start praying. You go, oh, I was praying. Oh, okay. Now I get it. So, yeah, my God, I can't believe how this has unfolded. And I said to my guy, who will be the recipient, I go, I knew this was going to happen. I knew everything would fall into place. I knew that all of the hurdles, because he tried to give me the, this is a long process with a lot has to happen for it to go right, for it actually to come to fruition, because he has done this 7 previous times and not really had a real sniff at it happening, because he never really got that far. That's how rigorous the process is. All of the exams, you have to pass so many tests, and we have crushed the testing. Oh, my God. So it's going to happen, and I'll have a date for you this week. I might even have that date as of today. Excuse me. So that's the update on the great kidney giveaway. I noticed that when I was talking to my guy, the liveliness in his voice on Friday, because this was, as we've had lots of little bits of information that have been good news, this is the most energized I've heard him after this. And I'm like, yes, that's great. I love it. But remember, we've got a lot of things that have to happen. So let's just inch our way through it. Not only do we have to get there and get it done and the surgery to be a success, which I have no doubt that it'll be anything but a terrific success. Then there's a recovery, and you got to take it easy. And then, all these medicines that we have to take to keep the kidney in you, anti-rejection. So let's just, inch our way through it. Don't get too far ahead. One thing at a time, and we'll get there. Thank you in advance for thinking of us. Okay, TC Paintball wants you to reach out to them. If you want to schedule a paintball party, you can still do a fall party outdoors, either in the Tactical Village. You can play airball, if you will. The inflatables all around you. So much fun at TC Paintball. Love those guys. TCPaintballGR.com. When you want to schedule any type of team building event, maybe get the area kids together for some fun, it is such a good time. Ask about the youth league that goes on at TC Paintball. He's also building the airsoft setup. Okay, it's kind of like a Tactical Village, but it's indoors and it's airsoft. You want more details, reach out to the folks at TC Paintball, online at tcpaintballgr.com. Fully stocked pro shop, everything you need for your paintball adventure here in West Michigan. Love those guys at TC Paintball. Schedule today. F45 Training Byron Center, online at f45training.com/Byron Center. When you go there, F, that's the letter F as in Frank, the number 4, the number 5, f45training.com/Byron Center. When you go there, there's going to be a little banner that says start free here. And you click on that and you fill in a couple of things. Next thing you know, you're good for 1 full week of workouts. Go there, get the workouts, do them all, stick to it, and then you're like, man, this is awesome. Group training with a personal touch, f45training.com. They bring you my YouTube page, and man, if you're looking to get in shape, these workouts are amazing. You've got the cardio element because you're moving from station to station, and you're busting your ass for all of them. And then the strength building component, building muscle mass for you people that are like my age, 40s and up, okay? When you hit 40, your muscles, they're like, we don't want to grow anymore unless you really stress us. It's very important that you keep your muscle mass, okay? The second you lose your muscle mass, your whole setup starts to fall apart. So make sure you focus on that. Keep working out. Keep doing something. And F45training.com/Byron Center is where I want you to do it. They're at half capacity, and that place is sterilized. You can eat off the floor, okay? As we work our way through the pandemic, they are open for business, and you can take advantage of all that they have to offer at F45training.com/Byron Center, right where the family fair is. Speaking of pandemic, working very hard to keep you safe and healthy. If you think you got the virus, there's 4 COVID testing stations that you just drive up to in Kent County. More information at accesskent.com/health for the Kent County Health Department. Boy, I bet they're like, 2020 is going to be a great year for us here at the health department. We're going to worry about measles, mumps, rubella, and making sure everybody gets their flu shot. Fuck. They have been tested, but they are still, they've adapted, and they've worked very, very hard trying to help the public at the Kent County Health Department. All of the services are still in play there, making sure that the kids are vaccinated, making sure that if you are down on your luck and you need cash for food, the WIC program is fully funded and readily available for you. All the details on any of these things, accesskent.com/health. All right. Yesterday, Who Are These Podcasts released the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show episode. And, I sure hope that they took it okay, because it can be pretty rough when you get what you do for a living ripped a new asshole, which is what happened to me 2 weeks ago when fuckface Carl decided to rip me a new one. And shit, God, that was tough. I remember that leading up to that, I didn't realize my mother was going to be as sick as she was. I actually said at one point, I'm actually more worried about Who Are These Podcasts than my mom's COVID. Fuck. Wish I hadn't said that. Son of a bitch. Well, Carl's a sick, sadistic asshole. And, he went out of his way to rip me a new one. And he has been doing it all October by talking about various radio shows that do podcasts or are radio shows that post podcasts, and what he ripped off from Opie and Anthony called Jocktober. So 2 weeks ago, I got mine. Then he did somebody else. I forgot it was in the middle. And then I found out through the grapevine that he was doing Free Beer and Hot Wings. I'm like, oh, fuck. Oh, man. Being on that hot seat, it probably was more on my radar than on theirs, because they've got a little bit going on, things to worry about. I mean, they're a hell of a lot more successful than me, and a lot more people listen to them. So they've got that going for them, which is great. Here I am with my thumb up my ass, sitting in a dormer above my garage with my dogs. And I'm like, oh, God, no. I did listen to it. It was brutal. So wherever you download podcasts, if you want to hear how Carl murdered my old show, it is available wherever you download podcasts. I honestly doubt they would say anything about it. I mean, you know me, I kind of try to roll with it, and I don't think they'll say. They probably don't even know that it happened, frankly. All right. Let's get into the murder hornets. I was blown away with how this actually happened. But I remember during the pandemic, a big part of it's still going on, that I was like, oh no, can 2020 get any worse? The murder hornets, with these crazy looking, bizarre creatures that look like they could kill you. Now, like I said in the setup, in the intro, the murder hornets come from Asia, of course. And they had been seen in the U.S. in the northwest portion of the country. So the word quickly spread that these things exist. Now, though they look ridiculous, and they can actually kill a human, I would say, well, of course they can kill a human. I just got stung not long ago by a bald-faced hornet, just a stupid little drone, and I thought I was going to die. And so if something that is 5 times the size of that, with a ton of venom, and can actually spit some type of venom jizz at you, that's true, and is an invasive species that loves to kill honeybees, well, we're all dead, right? The pandemic doesn't kill us. It's got to be these murder hornets. And what a name, by the way, the murder hornet. Holy shit. So what these things do isn't like they seek out people that, that are walking down the street and just attack them and bite their face off and then they die. They seek out honeybee nests. And fuck, leave those honeybees alone. Because if we don't have the honeybees, they don't pollinate our vegetation, and then that's a problem. Eventually, the food chain is all fucked up, and then all of a sudden we're all dead. That's a bad thing. I don't really understand exactly how that works. So basically, the key to life is the honeybee. If the honeybee leaves, I guess we're all dead. Is that what I'm understanding? Okay. I think we can all agree. Don't kill the honeybees. Leave the honeybees alone. Go after the murder hornets. Well, entomologists in the state of Washington said, all right, let's figure this out. And I didn't even know they were doing this. I wish they would have said this when it started, because then we wouldn't have panicked so much, and it's a kind of like a touchy time here. Last thing you want is something as devastating as these fucking things flying around without some battle plan. So I don't know why these dicks kept it a secret, or nobody said there is a battle plan in place. This is what they're going to do. It turns out that they have a battle plan, and it's remarkable. These entomologists, when they were discovered that there were more murder hornets, captured a few of them, and they managed to, with like a fishing line or string or something, I'm not making this up because it sounds ridiculous, tie a GPS tracking device, a little fucking tracking device, onto the murder hornet. You know where this is going. Then they fly off, go back to the nest. They turn on the phone. Oh, there they are. They're over there. Let's go get them. That's exactly what they did. They put a GPS tracking device on the hornet and said, all right, go do your thing. And they found a nest. I don't know if it's the only nest, but they found the first nest of Asian giant hornets, and they destroyed it. How awesome would that be, laying waste to those fuckers? Okay. And the article which I'll link up, which has devastating pictures of these 6 sons of bitches, was found. They put the tracking device. Can you imagine being the hornet and you're like trying to fly, and all of a sudden you got a tracking device on you? You're like, oh fuck, how do I get this thing off of me, man? How strong are these things that they're flying with a fucking GPS device on them? Son of a bitch. They put the tracking devices on the hornets, and then they killed them. I'm a little disappointed with how they got rid of them. They ended up sucking all of the creatures out using a vacuum hose. I kind of wish they would have taken, a can of Aquanet and put a match in front of it and just burnt the fuckers. And they're flying off birding. I would have loved to have seen that. But they used a vacuum hose. So you hear all these fucking things going through the vacuum. In my mind, they're still alive in the canister, and then you throw it in a burning fire. The article elaborated a little bit about how they target the honeybees, which pollinate the crops, and can destroy a colony in just a matter of hours. The nest in Washington was found by the entomologists, and it says they actually used dental floss to tie the devices to 3 of the hornets. The nest had 200 insects. It was discovered in a community known as Blaine, Washington, which is right on the border of Canada. So it all happened on Saturday, where the crew of scientists wearing the protective gear vacuumed the creatures from the tree, which they'll now cut it down to remove any further nesting possibilities. It says they are among the world's largest wasps, where they can reach 2 to 3 inches long. My God. You mean to tell me that there's some that are as big or bigger? Their venomous stings can penetrate humans' protective clothing, but they only kill about 40 people a year in Asia. I mean, okay, here we are. We're killing these things. Is there anything good that these things do? I mean, is there going to be something that is disruptive that is actually disrupted in the food chain because the murder hornets are now dead? or those murder hornets are dead. Because if there's nothing, I mean, why don't we just go out of our way and make it so that China can kill the rest of these? Can you guys do something over there? I mean, you owe us some type of payback after what you brought to the fucking world with the coronavirus. So for God's sake, I don't even know if it happened in China. It just says Asia. It could be anywhere in Asia. I'm just assuming it's China. Normally actually it says their habitat is in areas of from China to Japan. But in 2019, there were several sightings of murder hornets in North America. They actually destroyed a nest in Vancouver Island in December of last year. We just didn't know about it. Nobody cared because we needed some bad news during the pandemic to make, oh my God, look at 2020. Globally, conservationists are deeply concerned about falling insect populations, but it can be permissible to kill some insects if they are an invasive species, one that is not native to an area and preys on other insects there. That's like when you're when you catch a certain fish and you know what the fuck it is. For that gay wedding that I went to, that I drove limo for, it was right on the edge of the Grand River, and there's a guy there who catches a fish, and I go, oh, you got one. I'm like looking down at him during my off time as the wedding was getting started. He goes, yeah, it's invasive though. And then he takes the pole and he swings it over his head, and the fish goes smashing down, and then he stomps it. I'm like, holy fuck, that's the worst thing I've ever seen. Holy shit. He goes, yeah, it's invasive. Got to kill him. It's my duty. I'm like, fuck, I'm not fishing anymore, man. I wouldn't be able to do that. I've got such a soft spot for animals. I just, oh, God. When an Asian giant hornet enters a honeybee colony, it begins a slaughter phase in which it kills bee after bee and can destroy the colony in a few hours, as it says. Well, can't the fucking bees fight back? Does this thing have armor? Is there no chance for the honeybees? I mean, tell me one can just lay waste to the whole colony? Man. All right. So in college football, I haven't really been following it. All I saw is that it was Tennessee versus Alabama this weekend, and the game started with the guy from Alabama, Jalen something or other. It seems like everybody that plays for Alabama is named Jalen. Zaniac Linda Hall will tell you, oh, yeah, dude broke his ankle. I was a little disappointed because it was sent to me by, I think it was Michael Ball, saying we have a muppety, flippity, crackety, crack-a-lacka injury for you, Eric. And then I'm like, well, no, it's not. You can't even see the ankle go sideways or anything. But dude rolled up on him, broke his ankle, and he's done for the year. Expected to be a top 10 pick in the NFL draft. That's a bummer. He's crying as they take him off the field. He's not crying because he can't play. He's crying because he's seeing all that money go up in smoke. My God. I don't even know why these guys play college football. It seems like they're so damn good. They can just go right into the NFL. But this story about a dude who, it's just remarkable. He plays for the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest. And they were taking on, they're not a ranked team. They're not that great. They're all right. I think they were like 3-2 going into the game. And they were taking on number 20 Virginia Tech, who's pretty good and has a really good offense. So there's a freshman that plays for Wake Forest named Nick Anderson, who is a modern day Rudy, except he's actually good. Rudy pretty much sucks shit. And that asshole, he made that fucking movie, and about a tenth of it was accurate. And Sean Astin, and that guy who played The Rock, overacted their way into this gritty tale of some guy who, he lives somewhere in Indiana, decides he wants to play football at Notre Dame. So he's undersized. He's 5'0", 100. He's got no money to get into the school. Oh my God. Somehow he gets into the school. Holy shit. He tries to play football. They're like, you suck shit. You're little. Somehow he makes it as like a practice player. And somehow they let him dress for a game. And somehow football coach Dan Devine lets him play, and then somehow he manages to make a key tackle or sack the quarterback, and everybody puts him on his shoulders, and that's it. Okay. Joe Montana disputed a lot of those details. He was a quarterback of the team at the time. And by the way, the guy who played Dan Devine, the coach for Notre Dame at the time, they made the coach to be like the heavy in the film. And Dan Devine was anything but a heavy in real life. He was like a really sweet guy. And in the film, they took creative license with the role of who's playing the coach, Dan Devine, and made him out to be like a cocksucker. And so the real Dan Devine is like, hey, fuck you. I'm a nice guy. What the fuck are you doing? That happens in film from time to time. Did you ever see Cinderella Man? The story of James Braddock, the guy who's working on the dock and he wants to be a fighter and he gets a shot at the champ, Max Baird Jr. And holy shit, he wins. It's a great movie. It's an awesome movie. But fucking Max Baird Jr. was not, or I should say Max Baird. Max Baird Jr. was Jethro from the Beverly Hillbillies. His dad is Max Baird, the former heavyweight champion, great fucking boxer, who, when he would punch people, they'd die. Max Baird killed a dude in the ring. True story. But he was like really broken up about it and really sad. But in the film, they made Max Baird in Cinderella Man look like a guy who was a fucking womanizing asshole who loved to kill people. Like when he would kill somebody in the ring, you'd say, aha, fuck you, you're dead. Not at all true. People do that in films all the time. Anyway, I completely digress here. This guy for Wake Forest, Nick Anderson. So he tries out for the football team for Wake Forest, and they're like, man, this guy's pretty fucking good. He's a little shit, but man, he's got all the stuff that white guys need. You know, grit, heart, toughness. And I think this guy's a safety, and he weighs he's 5'11", 185 pounds. And he played football in high school, was pretty damn good, but nobody's going to want this little shit on their team. So he ends up going to Wake Forest and trying out for the football team, and he makes it. So, okay, great. And then he plays well enough that they're like, you know what? I think you got a shot to be like on this team as a starter. You're that good. You've got all these white guy traits, toughness and grit. You're slow as shit. You can't jump. You can't run. But if you got grit and toughness, you can make it happen. Well, this guy fucking blew up in the game against Virginia Tech. Holy shit. Freshman walk-on was put on his shoulders just like Rudy after Wake Forest beat the shit out of Virginia Tech 23-16. This fucker had 11 tackles. If it ended there, that'd be great. That's already a reason to put him on your shoulders. And three fucking interceptions. What the fuck? They were calling him Rudy, and they weren't chanting Rudy, they were chanting Scully. Scully. What is that? Is that his nickname? No. He gets a scholarship. The coach immediately said, you get a scholarship. The fucking guy earned a free ride to Wake Forest with that performance. Son of a bitch. Incredible story. I love this. Now that's a Disney film. Fuck that Rudy shit. That piece of shit couldn't even get on the field more than one play. Oh, my God. Wake Forest coach Dave Clawson said, acknowledged the player's calls to reward him with a walk-on scholarship. And he says, yeah, we're definitely going to do that next semester. I guess that's the earliest that can happen. His 3 interceptions and 11 tackles were at the center of a stout defensive showing by the Demon Deacons, who are now 3-2 overall, 2-2 in the ACC. That held a prolific Virginia Tech offense to a season-low point total and elicited the praise of his teammates. Excuse me. He's an absolute dog. Wake Forest defensive tackle Salamane Kamara said for him to be a walk-on Division I level, do what he did these last couple of games and against Virginia Tech just shows you that if you put the time and the dedication into anything, you can make anything happen. I'm absolutely so proud of him. We brought him up in the middle of the field. Everybody's yelling, put him on a scholarship because he's earned it. He's absolutely earned it. And the last interception was a game-sealing interception near midfield in the closing seconds as the Hokies attempted to construct a game-tying drive. Man, that is sweet. I love that story. Oh, and then they say they actually use the words gritty and tough. I didn't even read that far into the article because that's what you call the white guys. When you got a white guy, you say deceptive speed. That's a polite way of saying he runs like a white guy. And he's got grit, toughness, and heart. These are all white guy traits. Okay? White guys don't possess any skill. They're shitty at everything. But if you have grit, toughness, heart, deceptive speed, these are all, get you high scores. And he's got all that white guy shit. Fantastic. Now there's going to be a film made about him. Oh, man. There you go. So Virginia Tech falls at the hands of this guy. 11 tackles, 3 interceptions. Absolutely outstanding. All right. Want to remind you about A&E Heating and Cooling. Get yourself a furnace tune-up for just $79. AEHeatingCooling.net. Thank you to them. Call Joe 616-516-8579 to schedule your maintenance. It's very important that a piece of equipment like the furnace gets looked at once a year. It's kind of like you when it comes to like a physical. You can't ignore that shit. You got to get it. Got to get that taken care of. A&E Heating and Cooling, 616-516-8579. It's just $79 from Joe Martinez. If you do decide to go the route of getting a full install, he utilizes the Comfort Maker brand of furnaces and air conditioners. Thank you, A&E Heating and Cooling. Got to tell you about Terrytown RV. They're on Division Avenue, just between 68th and 76th Street. Go to their website, terrytownrv.com, and look at the selection of campers, travel trailers, fifth wheels, motorhomes. Man, I like to really drill down from time to time and talk about if you're a young family, don't do like I did and fall victim to just, well, we can't take a vacation. We can't do anything because we've got kids. No, look, when you're a parent, yes, when you're running around and you take a trip, you will be sitting there watching your kids. That comes with the territory. There's no avoiding that. You will be spending time with your kids. That's what happens. But if you go the extra mile and decide you want to get a travel trailer, you just go, all right, I can drop the $160 a month. We'll tow that thing all over the place every weekend during the camping months, which is pretty much like March to October in Michigan, maybe April to October. Your kids are going to be so enriched as opposed to you just sitting around the house staring at each other during those months. You're going to go to various parks. You're going to start to get a little bit more adventurous. You're going to get that spirit. You're going to hike. You're going to do things outdoors. The phones go away. The devices go away. You engage. You have conversations. You have these great moments. You sit by the campfire and you're building an incredible trove of memories. I wish I did that. It wasn't until my kids were mostly grown that we decided to get involved in this type of lifestyle. And nowadays, traveling to places where people are, well, newsflash, that's probably not a great idea anytime soon. So take your hotel room with you and go camping in a travel trailer fifth wheel motorhome from Terrytown RV. Okay. Great Legs Winery, Brewery, Distillery. If you are in Holland, Michigan, that area, please drop by Lakewood Boulevard and see those great folks. They're open all week long to pick up a bottle of wine, a growler of beer, or maybe a bottle of grappa. Great Legs Winery, Brewery, Distillery in Holland on Lakewood, across the street of the beautiful Windmill Estates Mobile Home Park. Thank you, Great Legs. You need more info on them, go to my website, ericzaneshow.com. Click on their logo and give you the full info as to where they are. All right. Rob, Blue State Rob. This is rare. I rarely look at the comments, but Blue State Rob writes, fuck you, Rudy. Fuck you, Notre Dame. And then he follows it up with, the real Rudy is a fucking asshole. Now, I think I did speak with Rudy one time. He was making the rounds. I don't know, radio interview. I think I tried to do a dude interview with him one time or something like that. And I think you might be accurate in that assumption of Rudy. Hold on a second here. Kenny sent me an email. I'm pre-reading it. Okay, I'm going to end with that. I've pre-read it. I'll end with that. It has me floored, and I'm trying to stay focused on the podcast with this really, really, really big bit of information. And I don't even know where to begin. See what you did? Oh, God. You guys are too much in a good way. And it says ahead of it, everyone is on the edge of their seats waiting for you to see and read that last email. Trust me, just read it. Then talk to Diana. I will read it. Fuck. Kenny, you won $10 this month? Did you win it in trivia? What the fuck did you win it on? All right, Kenny, I'll end up calling you. I'll read it. I'll call you, and then I don't remember you winning $10. Holy shit! Son of a bitch! You guys, come on. All right, I'll accommodate you with everything you're suggesting. Don't worry, I'll take care of it. Let me just keep this car on the road right now. All right. Okay, how many times you heard the term, yeah, he's an activist, and you find out he's an asshole? Sometimes people who are activists are also an asshole. First they're an asshole, and then they wrap themselves up in the term activist, and then they go and break all of our windows downtown at businesses and act like a dick and say, I'm doing this because I'm mad at racial inequality. I'm going to destroy everybody's shit and light buildings on fire. Well, that's not an activist. That's just, you're an asshole. And you're using whatever it is to say that you're an activist to justify your shitty behavior. And some cock in Wisconsin did just that. It caught up with him, and he was in front of a judge, though. What this activist did was, quote-unquote activist, was during all the unrest that went down in Wisconsin not that long ago, Devonair Johnson said, I'm hungry and I want some beer. So he bust into a restaurant and said, give me beer and give me food or we're going to destroy your restaurant. True. Here's where it starts. A Wisconsin activist accused of threatening to vandalize a restaurant unless he got free food and beer agreed to plead guilty to a federal charge against him, according to media reports. I love this. I love that it's being discussed because pieces of shit like this guy need to be there needs to be an example made of them that you cannot do this. This is not okay. It is okay. Look, it's okay to take a knee for the anthem. It's okay to have a peaceful rally. It's okay to do everything that you're supposed to do within the rights of the law or within the Constitution to assemble. I am all for that. Get that done. That is how it works. Excellent. Congratulations. But you sick assholes who do shit like this need to burn. Devonair Johnson will plead to an extortion charge, is expected to be sentenced to time served. Too bad. And have another federal extortion charge against him dropped. I guess that's the deal that they cut him. That is a lenient deal. The charge carries up to 20 years in prison, but the federal prosecutors will recommend the reduced sentence accompanied with 2 years of supervised release. Boy, this guy got a sweetheart of a deal. It sounds like you had a sympathetic federal prosecutor in your corner. Devonair Johnson. He will have the option to withdraw the guilty plea if U.S. District Judge Bill Conley rejects the deal. So I guess it's up to the judge. I hope the judge says, fuck you. Johnson still faces several state charges in Dane County, Wisconsin, stemming from his June 23rd arrest in Madison, which sparked a protest that spread to the Capitol grounds. 2 statues toppled. This is ridiculous. They toppled 2 statues during the demonstration. One of the statues was of an anti-slavery Union defender. So like someone who was like saying, we need equality. It's a statue of some person, who hated slavery. And these fucking morons ripped that statue down because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. And another of Lady Forward, who represents progress. And a state senator was also brutally assaulted. Some of the state charges are related to the federal charges that Johnson faces. Federal prosecutors said Johnson threatened 2 Madison, Wisconsin restaurants when he demanded money from one and food and beer from another, according to court documents. Johnson and another idiot went into, and there's video of it, went into one of the businesses and complained that they had been kicked out the day prior before demanding food and beer for their troubles. Quote, just give us free food and beer and we can end this now, Johnson said, according to grand jury testimony. You don't want 600 people to come here and destroy your business and burn it down. The owner relented and gave the asshole food and beer. The other charge involves an alleged demand from another business owner to pay Johnson money through an app or else his windows would be destroyed. The day he was arrested, Johnson was seen entering a restaurant carrying a bat and using a bullhorn to talk shit. He was taken into police custody outside for disorderly conduct and other criminal violations. Fuck this guy. And you should see the smirk on this son of a bitch's face, too. Eat shit and die. He is lucky, frankly. Okay, I bet you want to know about recently graduated Julie Jerkoff. She has graduated from college. This is real quick. It's a TikTok video that my son sent me, and I'll link it up for you to see yourself. Really simple. Julie is walking across the stage, and the usual suspects are handing out degrees. I have no idea how old it is. All I know is I laugh my ass off. And you've got an announcer who says, as they walk across, Michael Collins, Janet Smith. She wants to say Julie Kirchhoff, I think is what the real name was. But listen to her murder this. It's never been so clear. Listen to her murder it, and then listen to the reaction from everybody.
Jacqueline Jewett. Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirchhoff.
Fuck. That big laugh after. And then she says, forget. I love how she caught it and then fixed it. How the fuck did you do that? Man.
Jacqueline Jewett. Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirchhoff.
Oh, man. The fixing it got an even bigger pop. I love that. All right, Kenny, I'll be coming to you in a little bit. You guys are too much. I'm going to read this. This is remarkable. Again, why am I so lucky? And I'm a little taken back by it, and I don't think that it's... Honestly, I think that there are much more worthy things that could be approached. You guys. I have a Patreon podcast. I work my ass off on it, and I try to make it worth your $5 or $10 a month. And so each and every day I do a Patreon bonus podcast for 30 or 40 minutes. It's a little more interactive than this one is. This one, I very rarely look at the comments. Today I did. I guess God told me to. And here I sit. But it's a little more interactive on the Patreon bonus, okay? And I do it every day. And there's a whole lot more that I also have on Patreon. I have the Lost Zane recordings. I just dropped a new episode of that today. And I drop 2 episodes a week of the Lost Zane recordings from my WBBL years. Every single day I have like the next day's show. let me back. On Monday, I have a show. And then on Friday, I'll release the next day's show that happened way back in 2016 until we go through all of them. Okay? And that's also there. Also, Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer Trivia. Nick won last time. He gave that money away. I've got a listener named Lee that's going to take on Dale tomorrow. Also, the Zane Asylum. That's my 2-hour radio show on Q100 up north. That's a music-driven show. I post that on Patreon. And then, of course, the Ben and Eric podcast once a week. That's all there. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that's 10 things a week that I publish on Patreon for $5 or $10 a month. Most people on Patreon, they do a couple things here and there, and it's well worth it. But man, I like to really work hard to make sure that you get your money's worth on Patreon. So $5 or $10 a month, that really helps keep the lights on and helps keep this podcast growing. So if you're on the fence, please just think about all the things that I give you, and if you think that the free podcast is worth it, and then you want to help out on Patreon, please do it there. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Oh my God, my friends at Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. If you're in the West Michigan area, Grand Rapids area, do consider getting your car repaired at Irvine's. They will not let you down. And if you don't believe me, go to their website, irvines.com, and look at all of the Google reviews, man. They're so proud of that. It's displayed prominently on top. And they work very, very hard to make sure that all those customers are satisfied. That's all you got to do in any business. Just give the people what they want and do a good job. And if something happens to get sideways, make sure you help those who need that aren't satisfied with their service. And that's what they do at Irvine's. They really make sure that even if there's anybody that gives them a negative review, they make sure that customer is satisfied somehow through the follow-up. Okay. I love Google reviews. They're simultaneously the best and worst thing that's happened to a business, because if somebody wants to do something subversive, they can actually hurt a business. But to most businesses, to people that like, hey, I'm going to rate you based on what you actually gave me. Great service, great work. That's awesome. Call Irvine's at 616-532-6600. They bring you O'Neill and Bruce. Jen Belgraff is making these sweaters for those dogs. That's going to be fantastic to see O'Neill and Bruce and their Irvine's Auto Repair sponsored sweaters and Grand Rapids Hybrid. Okay, and my latest sponsor that I have, and last one for today's show, is a company known as Forever Lawn West Michigan. Forever Lawn West Michigan installs synthetic grass, either for residential needs or for commercial needs. Some of these folks that have homes are, when they're doing maybe they're sick and tired of taking care of their lawn, they're installing synthetic grass. That's actually happening right now. It looks amazing and always looks amazing. Don't believe me? Go to foreverlawn.com/WMI and take a look. It doesn't look like your local high school football field. It's grass, okay? It's just, you don't have to mow it, and it always looks awesome. Let's say you have a kennel or something like that, maybe a residential kennel, or you're a professional like my friend Lisa at Doggone Spoiled. They install that type of kennel grass, okay? What if you want a putting green or something like that to practice golf? They install that. A bocce field. No, not all of you are installing putting greens or bocce fields, but fuck, some of you might. Who you call? Forever Lawn West Michigan. Foreverlawn.com/WMI. Call John today at 616-258-6450. Foreverlawn.com/WMI. Forever Lawn, Forever Lawn. Every time I do an ad for them, I think of that freaking Eric Clapton song, Forever Man. You're like, what is that? Shut up. Stop saying everything that pops into your brain, idiot. All right. Craig saying, call Diana. Call Diana and read her email. I don't know if I can call her. Hang on. Kenny writes this. I'm going to read it verbatim because he asked me to. Here are the facts. We already had Diana's PayPal direct link from when we raised money for the recipients of the A&E Heating and Cooling giveaway. Nick and I were talking and sent word out to as many Zaniacs as possible that we wanted to get together and send some love your way. You already do. I mean, seriously. And hopefully ease some of the stress that surely must be felt during recent weeks and months. So we did. Numerous Zaniacs have been dropping a little bit into Diana's PayPal account here and there this past week. Why? Because we love you guys, man. And you guys have been hit with a lot in recent months, and I'm sure there's a lot of things that are weighing on your mind. We just wanted to do what we could to hopefully lift some of the weight off of your shoulders, especially with the kidney donation right around the corner and the unknowns that it could bring. You are loved, my friend. Okay. I need more information. Hey, Siri. Oh, let me do this again. Hey, Siri. Call Kenny no on speaker.
Calling Kenny no on speaker.
Hey, man.
Dude.
I'm sorry?
I said, dude.
Oh, okay.
You're not supposed to call me. You're supposed to call your wife.
I have to call my wife? Well, you
Yeah.
didn't. Why didn't you say that?
I did.
Wait, hold on a minute. Let me.
No, I did in tons of comments, I guess.
Well, I don't see that. You know that I don't see that. You would think you'd leave it in the. I said I'm going to read the email. You think you'd put it in an email? You knew I was going to. So I have to call my wife.
Did she or did she not say that she wanted to talk to you on the podcast today?
She did, but I was very suspicious. I'm not gonna. No, I'm not. That's like me saying to her, "Hey, I want to go to your school and whip my dick out."
No. Oh, jeez, dude. You animal.
Okay, so I should call her. Is that right?
Right, because I don't have any other information except what I sent to you.
All right, I will, asshole. And hold on a minute. So, I was supposed to read this, right? That's the first thing I should have done.
Yeah.
What do I owe you $10 for? Did you win on trivia?
Oh, dude, I don't even remember. It was some type of I don't think it was Instagram.
Oh, I know what it was. It was with Ben. It was
yes, Bet on Ben.
Bet on Ben.
Yeah.
I wonder if anybody else won. God, I don't remember. Oh, fuck. All right.
Kind of forgot until you were talking about was it Rob earlier?
Yeah. No, it was Nick. Nick won $50, and then he's giving that away to a diabetes charity, and then Josh won $10. I didn't give him that money.
Josh.
Yes.
My bad.
I'm an idiot, man. I need like a personal secretary. Okay. All right. I'll send you your money.
Oh, man. You can't worry about
No,
that.
give it away. And whoever else won, it might have been Andrea. I don't know who it was. Whoever won on Bet on Ben. Maybe it was a dildo farmer. Somebody won. I don't remember who. I might have to go back and maybe I could probably figure it out if I just went back and listened to the fucking bit.
Well, I'm sure you don't have time for all that, but
hey, how about your Titans screwing up that game yesterday?
oh, dude, that kicker, man, he is so past his prime.
What's his name again? I forget that idiot's name.
I forget too because he came from the Patriots and screwed up the start of
Gostkowski.
Yeah. Man, that was rough, and no defense in the first half. It just doesn't work that way. But yeah, man. I don't have any other information.
Yeah. All right.
We love you, dude.
I'll call her. Now, have you been in touch with her today? Because if I surprise her,
yes, I have.
All right, good. All right, I'll call her.
All right.
Okay.
Love you, man.
All right, babe. Love you too, babe. Yeah. Yeah, babe. All right, bye. Okay. You guys. guys, man. Hey, Siri. Call Pooh on speaker.
Calling Pooh mobile on speaker.
Unbelievable.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
So, is this okay? Can I call you? I'm actually on the podcast right now.
Oh yeah, I'm on my break.
Oh, you are? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, everything good at school?
Everything's good.
Any positive COVID tests I should know about?
Nope, they're back.
So no. Oh, thank God. You know, my brother Jim wants you to quit that job.
I know he does. He's very worried about.
Okay, so something's going on. I get an email from. Well, first I saw comments. Hey, read your email. I look and there's an email. It says from Kenny. It says read live, please, and then something about Diana's PayPal direct link. So I'm getting, and he indicated that Zaniacs have been throwing money into that account. So when did you discover that there was money showing up? Did you even know it, or did they just tip you off and say, look at it?
Yeah, they kind of tipped me off a couple of days ago, actually, because I get emails or texts or something that says there's money in your email in your PayPal account. I'm like, what? For what? I didn't sell anything.
No, I'm already uncomfortable with this. It's not like I don't want them to get. I don't ask for anything, and they know that. I don't feel comfortable. You know what I mean? I feel like we should just take that money and give it away.
Yeah, but that's something they wanted to do, and I think that we should
be respectful of what they want me to do.
What they want,
right? Because
if they wanted to give it away, they would have given it away to someone else. They're not giving it away to you as a charity. They're giving it away as out of love and support. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, and I think that it's a mistake to dig my heels in. And
right.
I mean,
exactly.
that's wonderful. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Whenever I'm like, I have, and I've gotten pretty good at this. Is whenever I'm like, well, there's a lot piling up. I often say to myself, no one will let you fall. There's too much. We have too many people that care about us. Never in any way, whether it be emotionally or something like this, or just. There's always something positive happening, and I think that has a lot to do with just trying to facilitate love, and reaching out to people. And I think that that's a perfect example of just keep working and grinding and being treating people the way you want to be treated, and eventually it's going to work out. It always does,
Yeah. Do you recall Father Collins' homily from yesterday?
I do recall Father Collins' homily. I didn't think of that, but now that you mention it, yeah.
That kind of is all, a part of all this. So.
Okay, so.
You know what I mean?
Kenny wanted me to call you in particular because he wanted you to say something to me, and I don't know. I'm assuming what it is, but I don't want to put words in your mouth.
What is it? I don't.
Well, okay.
I'm kind of.
He said call Diana because he said they put money into a PayPal account, and that's all I know.
They did. Yep, and I have the PayPal account. And hang on, let me tell you. Do you want to know that? Or is that?
Well, it's going to make me. I know it's going to be ridiculous. It's not going to. Boy, can you imagine if it was like $30? I'd be like, oh fuck.
$16.75. Hang on one second. Speaker, I'm going. You know me in technology, so.
Oh, I know it's terrible, and then you get mad at me when I try to help you. I'm like, no, just push this.
In my PayPal account. Hang on, it's loading.
Oh, dear God.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Drum roll, please.
I don't have that.
Oh. $1,600.15.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, thank you. I think that's the only thing I can say. Thank you for. Thank you.
Thank you is not sufficient. We know this, and it doesn't cover how we truly feel.
No, it's remarkable. It's it's just I'm kind of at a loss. This might require me time to have to mull this over and think about what I really want to say before I actually like drill down on that, because it's really overwhelming.
It is overwhelming, and I don't even know. We don't even know where to begin, and I think they know that, and they would come back at us with, you don't have to thank us. You thank us enough by entertaining us, and we're like family and all that, and I get that, but still, we feel a little bit indebted to them.
Honestly, in my opinion, there are so many more other worthy things that, name it, and that should go towards, and that's kind of where my mind is. But I entirely want to be respectful, and if that's what they want, that's what they want. Well, then I'm going to use that money, and it will help. It all does. I'm in the same boat as everybody else, and I try not to let it get me down. But sure, there's struggles. I struggle just as much as anybody, and you struggle just as much as anybody. The family does, but you make that not really an issue because of your generosity. You've done it numerous times to us, so maybe I can get enough thoughts to tell you how I feel about you. We love you very much. I love you very much. Thank you, guys.
Yes, we do, and we're just, I know they know, but it's just worth repeating that we truly would not be where we are today without them.
Oh my God. Yeah. I've never, that's one thing I'm actually very proud of. I don't like to pat myself on the back, but I've always been very aware that from the first day when I saw the immediate response to the Patreon, because that first day we had 400 people on Patreon, and that bought me 2 months worth of income to be able to start the podcast. It was a jump starter or a Kickstarter. And that number dwindled. But not that much. I have about 280 followers on Patreon now that pays my house payment every month. But it was that immediate surge that bought me. Well, first of all, made me believe in myself. Second of all, that put in motion that I can do this every single day. And that's it, and then sell it. They made me a believer. That was the biggest gift they ever gave me, because I had no self-confidence at that point, and it was because of them that I was like, fuck, I'm never gonna be rich, but I don't give a shit. I got all these people. I've got all this love and support, which I can be as happy as fuck, and it makes sense to struggle along with them the same way they struggle. And it makes the whole fucking world go round. So that's what we're gonna do.
And just like what you said, that all of that, what you just mentioned, is worth more than all the money in the world. So.
Yeah, I couldn't have it. And as much as a gut punch it was when Who Are These Podcasts said that, they go, I don't know how he gets any new listeners. Well, frankly, as long as I got these people, I don't need any new listeners. It doesn't matter. I'm set with this great bunch.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. That is fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll let you get back after it. I love you very much.
All right. I love you too. I will talk to you soon.
Okay.
I'll see you later.
Okay. Thank you. Honey. Bye. Thanks for the good news.
Thanks, everybody.
There you go. Queen of the Forest joining me. Yeah. Boy, what a turn of events on this show. You guys are just full of surprises. What an amazing bunch. And so all of that, what I just said there is it's definitely worth repeating. I can't tell you how much, like, I can always fall back on that. Like, hey, at the end of the day, I've got this really, really powerful, small but powerful bunch of people that are just a bunch of shit kickers and love us so much that they would do something like that. We are eternally grateful. My God. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. All right, folks, I'm going to end it right there on that high note. What a way to start the week. Thank you. I'll reset. Puppy dogs go for a walk, and I've got, O'Neill just lifted his head up like, what? It's the time? He heard me say those words. Go for a walk. Thanks again. I'll talk to you on Patreon. Have a great one, folks. Have a great week. Good start right there. Bye-bye.